going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. So today we got a probably pretty short video, may not even hit the 8-minute mark, you know, for those extra mid-roll ads. So if you do enjoy it, leave a like, drop a sub to the channel. It's all very much appreciated. But today's video was inspired by Garrett Draws, or actually the idea, I guess, was given by him. So on stream a few hours ago, twitch.tv/Tyrauku, we were talking about some things in game that players may not really know about, Plarion may not have shared very heavily, or may not have explained, or things that kind of just slide under the radar, but are actually pretty impactful. Now, some of these things, you're going to be like, yeah, Ty, I've known that for a long time. Nothing new here, right? But I can almost guarantee, I got a strong inclination that at least one thing on this list, you're not going to have known. Because for me, there's actually a few things on this list that until recently, they've even been in the game for a while, I just recently found out about. So the first thing, I think a lot of people know about this, but it's actually surprising how many people come to the stream, I do this, and they don't know what's happening. So when you go in the clan boss, when you go on Hydra, I wish they added this function to the regular clan boss, but when you go on Hydra, you can press pause, you can back out, you can have reset team or whatever, and it's no problem, it saves your key. But for the regular clan boss, most new players especially, if you're a veteran player, you probably already know this, most new players think, okay, I gotta go buy a key, gotta spend 100 gems, whatever, buy a new key, but you don't. If you go up here to the X, hit the X, or if you go down here to the bottom and force close the game, or if you're on mobile, if you force quit the app, like on iPhone, if you swipe up, you can actually slide away the raid app. I don't know how to do it on Android, but you literally just force quit it. And the key, you'll notice I had one key before doing this. When I come back into raid, that key is still going to be there. So if you're somebody who's testing at your clan boss, I would really hope that most players know about this, because if not, you're spending a ton of gems going in there to clan boss and resetting the runs over and over and over. But if you come in here, you can see I still have 1 out of 2 keys left. So why Plarium doesn't have the Hydra version of reset team in that, I have no clue, but that is a very impactful tool that was added, I guess, what, last year, maybe the year before, but it's absolutely incredible. Now, the second thing, this is going to be still on the same side of, I think a lot of people probably know this. The last 2 or 3 tips that I have are things that were basically just new to me recently. This one is the fitting room, okay? The fitting room, very basic, I know, but another thing, a lot of people don't realize this. Basically, you can do your gear, you can press equip, you can see it like this, but the fitting room allows you to literally try on all the gear before you ever equip it. Another feature that was added recently that's absolutely amazing inside of Raid. So you can try all this stuff on, you can see the stats before you ever equip it, press equip down at the bottom, and honestly, this is a feature that I use way more than anything else as far as gear, and it saved me millions and millions and millions of silver from before, where I would try on gear, move it around a lot, but the fitting room, I can just literally throw it all in there, see what's going on, and then, yeah, plug and play. The only thing I'd kind of wish I could do is click pieces of gear up here. So like if I could click my weapon to see what stats are specifically on the weapon, that would be nice, because sometimes I switch gear and then I forget what's where, and then I have to go back to here, say, okay, this weapon has attack and crit rate. So ultimately, not that big of a deal, but if I could click the certain pieces, I could know, hey, maybe I can switch to the shield because it fits the gear build that I want to do, but I could actually get rid of the shield for a better shield, even without searching through everything. May not make sense what I'm saying right now, but it would be a nice feature to be able to click this and see what each individual piece brings. So like, hey, if the gloves have 16% crit rate, then I know, hey, I need to go for at least a glove that has 17% crit rate. Or if I go for one a little bit lower, it may drop my stats, but I can replace it with a different shield. So the fitting room, absolutely amazing. And then the next thing that's kind of involves the fitting room, hopefully you guys can see this over here, but you have the primary stats and the substats, which is an amazing filter tool, especially if you're just doing the bottom row stuff. You want to go chest and gloves, sell all the HP, attack, and defense, sell all the flat stats. Actually, let's go ahead and do that right here. So we're going to sell, select all. Select all is actually an amazing feature as well, but I didn't have that included in this tips. The next thing I want to talk about is the rank and rarity. This was actually a feature somebody on stream today said that they just, until recently, didn't even know this was in the game. So this is incredibly helpful as well, because I can literally click 5-star, chest plates, 5-star, rare items, and at this point in my count, most 5-star rare items aren't going to be used, but maybe some of the ones that are already leveled up, I want to use, okay, for whatever reason. But I can just go through here, sell all the 5-star rare pieces. I have a stone skin piece down here, I'll keep that. But it's super easy to go ahead and filter out your gear, clear everything. Maybe you have a random 4-star piece lurking around your account. Maybe somewhere buried in your account you have some 3-star or 1 to 2-star pieces. Maybe you have some common pieces or some uncommon pieces. See, like this stuff, why do I have this? I don't know. Apparently I haven't used this tool very recently, but hey, both these pieces, I can get rid of them. They're literally doing nothing for my account. What is this one? Defense percent. This is actually my OG Stagnite chestplate, I think. Defense percent with some accuracy and defense, maybe. I don't even know. But let's go ahead and get rid of it for the video's sake. It is a 5-star, but guys, I'm not going to be using that chestplate anymore. Now, these next 2 things, these are the ones you probably haven't heard of. This one right here is actually very helpful, And I don't really know why Plarium doesn't like talk about it more. But if you go over here to the little side drop down hamburger menu, is that what it's called? I don't even know. But the FAQ and guides, buffs and debuffs are something inside of Raid Shadow Legends that are really not explained that well. But you can go here. This is like the whole FAQ page inside the game. You can do this from mobile anywhere. Instead of having to open up a different tab, go to hellhades.com or Ayumi Love or whatever it may be, search Google for this stuff. You can literally go here, type in FAQ. Let's type in buffs and debuffs. So a list of buff and debuffs. This actually gives a very, very good breakdown of everything, because for a long time, I didn't know what Hex did. I was like, what is Hex? And that was the thing with most players in the game. We're like, okay, it's on the Minotaur Labyrinth, so maybe it does something, but nobody knew really what it did. But you come here and see that it does nothing, basically. It literally does nothing. It's just a marker for champions. So I've always wanted to know like an actual breakdown. Hex debuffs can change the way abilities of a specific champion work. For example, enemies under Hex debuff may receive higher damage if it's indicated in the ability description of the attacker. By itself, Hex has no effect and works as a marker. So this is some very interesting information. You can scroll through here. You can see there's a poison sensitivity level 2. Does any champion actually have that? I feel like we only have the level 1 of poison sensitivity. You have the decreased resistance. You have all the information on all the buffs and debuffs. So if you're ever curious, ever wondering what works where and how each works, this is it. This is how it makes sense. You can see freeze. The champion with this debuff is unable to act for X turns. Cooldowns are not refreshed while freeze is active. The champion only receives 75% of incoming damage. So the cooldowns aren't refreshed, and the champion takes less damage. You can also see the stun. Cooldowns are not refreshed while stun is active. You can see sleep takes damage and it wakes him up. So you can see the breakdown of all these debuffs, all the buffs. You can get a lot of good information on how these things work. Veil and Perfect Veil, the breakdown's right here. This is another buff and debuff that are pretty not very well understood. So literally just come in here to the FAQ and guide section. You can type up all that stuff. Let's look up gear sets, because this is another thing. This is actually in game, but artifacts overview. So sometimes people don't know what each individual set does. There's places inside the game where you can go and actually find that, but sometimes it's a little difficult to find. So let's see down here if you can see what each artifact set actually does. So this is given a breakdown here. Right here, you can see offense does this, everything, so on and so forth. So let's see. Retaliation and Avenging are two sets that are very similar. One activates from crits only and one not, but the hidden difference is that Retaliation reduces the damage your champion deals, because it's just all counterattacks reduce the damage, and then Avenging actually doesn't get that damage mitigation. So on the Retaliation set specifically, it says when counterattacking, a champion's default skill will inflict 65% of its standard damage. Whenever you come down to the Avenging set, it doesn't include that extra line because it doesn't reduce the damage that you deal. Other than that, all counterattacks in the game are reduced. That is a very interesting little feature that are in these sets that the game itself doesn't really let you know. Now, the last thing, I've actually made a video about this a few days ago, but I don't think it got enough publicity. I don't think it spread enough to actually impact a large majority of players, because I've had a lot of people in that video comment they had no clue about this, but it is making your presets in different areas of the game. Now, this feature has been in the game for a while, but because it looked like it was copied and pasted from the dungeons to the faction wars to the Doom Tower, it made me think that there was actually not added. I thought that all the teams were the same, but you can see here, this is Ice Golem and Dragon 25, Fire Knight, Spider, Clan Boss, and then I don't know what this is. Maybe I was trying out something new, and then everything else is empty. Now, let's go over to the faction wars, which I've been working on quite a bit to make all my faction wars organized, because before this, I had no clue about this feature. I did not know it worked like this, but look, this is going to be my Lizardmen team. This is my Skinwalkers, Night Revs, Undead, Demon Spawn, Ogren, Orcs, High Elves. This is going to be Dark Elves, Sacred Order, Bannerlords, whatever. We got Bannerlords here. We got Barbarians and Dwarves and Shadowkin. So I have all my factions done. Now, if they release 2 more factions, we're going to be in a bad spot. We're going to need more presets, because we're not going to have enough presets for all the factions. But either way, now I can come in here, set all that stuff up, throw it in there. This is my rare champion that I use for stage 21. This gets me through stage 21 consistently. I can set all these presets for faction wars, and we're good to go. And the next level of benefit is that I can go over to the Doom Tower as well and do the exact same thing. So here, I was building my Scarab team in the dungeon setup. I was thinking I was, but I don't think I actually was, come to find out, because they don't copy over. But here, I have my Wave Clear team. So this is just a normal Doom Tower team. Here is 4 Scarab, floor 100, which actually I need to fix that. But I have nothing else here yet, because I haven't built any other teams yet for the Doom Tower. But this feature right here is so incredible, but I didn't even know it was in the game for the longest time. And then Arena, same thing. All these teams are different. All these presets are different. All of them are on their own. The classic arena and the 3v3 are shared, but clan boss is also shared. So basically, clan boss and dungeons are shared. So it's clan boss and dungeons, faction wars alone, arena, 3v3 and classic are together, but the arena is separate from everything else. And then Doom Tower is all on its own as well. And then Hydra is also all on its own also. So it's very, very interesting stuff. If you want to test it, literally just make a brand new team, make it like a test team, and then go over to the different areas of the game. You'll see that, hey, it doesn't pop up in those other areas of the game. So it helps your account be much more organized, much more, hey, these are the champions I use here, these are used here, this is here. I love the presets. I think the presets are an absolutely amazing addition to the game. And it's actually absolutely helped me with getting my speed teams organized and everything else organized. And I'm moving towards the point of being more organized. And once I get something like set in stone, I'm going to share it with you guys what I have going on. But those are just 5 things inside the game that maybe people overlook. Some of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, I feel mind blown. And some of you are going to be like, yo, this was a stupid video, Ty. Why'd you even put it out? I know all that stuff. And guess what? You're a genius. You're an absolute genius. And you pay attention to all the patch updates. And man, I'm proud of you. But for those of you who are like me and don't pay attention to all the patch updates or don't click around every little icon in the button, maybe some of these was a pretty interesting little helpful item for you, whatever it may be. Also, another thing people don't look at very much, this is just a little bonus one, is the, I don't look at it that much because honestly it doesn't give that much info, but you can do the boss guide and then teams of the week, which shows the best teams for people to be running. However, the reason why I don't look at this too much is because while I can see, okay, Elinaro, Calvalax, and Solus, I can see what's going on. I don't really know how it's working because I don't know the speeds. I don't know who's doing what. A lot of these you can kind of assume and take guesses and figure, hey, this is what's happening here. But you don't see a lot of the key information. But it's still a very nice function inside the game. I believe you can also go to Doom Tower and see the same thing. Let's go ahead up here to see boss guide, teams of the week, same exact thing. So Urost, Ithos, Hedgie. I wish I had a Hedgie. Anithwi, and Solus. So it's all interesting information, guys. But either way, with that said, thank you all very much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully you've taken something from it. But either way, guys, catch you in the next one.